This is a story about a woman who shook the Vietnamese world with her unapologetic love life. Our story begins in the 18th century in Vietnam. Back then, it was all but impossible for a woman to be anything other than a good little girl. You know, the kind who did as she was told, obeyed her father and her husband, and never, ever spoke back. But our protagonist, a poetess named Juan Hiong, didn't want to live a life like that, and she wasn't afraid to say it. She lived in a time when women were expected to be demure and obedient, when they were not allowed to own property and were often married off to men they didn't know. But from the time she was young, Ho was different. She didn't want to follow the rules. She wanted to break them. And she was especially passionate about one rule, the rule that said that women should not be allowed to have lovers. She was so passionate about this rule, in fact, that she wrote poems about it. And these weren't just any poems. They were bold, they were brash, and they were full of double entendres. And the more scandalous thing about them was that she performed them in public, which according to Confucian norms, women were not supposed to do. The thing is, though, while her actions were considered highly inappropriate, they were also extremely attractive to men. And soon enough, she had a whole group of them following her around, trying to win her favor. Now, this might sound like a typical harem anime, but it's not. Because Ho wasn't interested in having just one lover. She wanted to have them all. And this is where things get really interesting. See, in order to pursue her unconventional love life, Ho had to make a choice. She could either get married and then have her lovers on the side, or she could remain unmarried and have her lovers front and center. Now, this was a huge decision because in either case, she would be shunned by society. So she chose to remain unmarried, and as a result, she became a cultural rebel, a symbol of female empowerment, even if that wasn't her intention. I mean, she just wanted to have some fun. But in doing so, she inspired other women to do the same, to break the rules and pursue their own desires. And so that's the story of Ho Xuan Huang, the Vietnamese vixen who dared to defy her culture's expectations of her. And you know what? I kinda love her. The end.